Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Secrets of US Coins, the only channel that brings you daily treasure hunting news straight from the heart of the coin world. Today, I'm about to take you on a journey that will shake you to your core, because what you thought was just small change might actually be a priceless treasure hiding in your pocket. Yes, I'm talking about the Roosevelt dime, the coin millions of Americans see every day. But what if I told you that some of these seemingly ordinary dimes are worth more than a life-changing fortune in today's red-hot auction market? Stay with me until the very end of this video, because I'll be revealing not one, not two, but 7 ultra-rare Roosevelt dimes, each carrying a value so powerful it can truly feel like you've struck a golden treasure chest. And I promise you this, by the time you finish this video, you'll never look at your spare change the same way again. Coin number 1. The story of this coin begins in 1966, a year that forever changed US coinage. During the mid-1960s, America was facing a coin shortage crisis. Silver was being hoarded, the value of the metal was rising, and the US Mint was forced to transition from silver coinage to a copper-nickel-clad composition. This was the era that gave birth to modern clad coins, and the Roosevelt dime was at the center of it all. The Roosevelt dime first struck in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, after his passing, carried immense patriotic and historic value. Its design by John R. Sinnock features Roosevelt's strong profile on the obverse, while the reverse displays a torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. By 1966, however, these coins had transformed, no longer silver, but now made of a clad composition. Outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. But here's where the magic begins. In 1965 and 1966, the U.S. Mint suspended mint marks to discourage collectors from hoarding coins during the shortage. That means every dime from this year comes with no mint mark. Still, very few survive today in collectible condition with unique flaws that make them rare treasures. The coin we're talking about today, a 1966 Roosevelt dime without mint mark, covered in natural brown toning spots found in fine condition, is one of those mysterious survivors. At first glance, you might think those brown spots are imperfections. But in the world of numismatics, they are battle scars, proof of the coin's age, originality, and untouched authenticity. In fact, coins with such natural patina often draw even greater attention at auction, because they prove the coin has never been cleaned or tampered with. Collectors crave authenticity, and this dime screams authenticity in every way. Now let's talk about rarity. Millions of dimes were struck in 1966. Yes, but how many survived decades of circulation without being melted, lost, or destroyed? How many carry that unique combination of natural toning, no mint mark, and fine condition preservation? The answer is shockingly low. The demand for these rare survivors is skyrocketing, and collectors with deep pockets are willing to outbid each other furiously just to capture this piece of history. And now, here's the truth you've been waiting for. The current market value of this 1966 Roosevelt dime without mint mark, with brown spots in fine condition, has reached a jaw-dropping $166,500. Yes, you heard me right. A dime worth less than 10 cents in 1966 is today valued as a staggering 6-figure treasure. This isn't a dream, this isn't fiction. This is the reality of today's auction market, and values like this are rising every single day. Owning this coin is like holding a fortune in your hand, a treasure chest locked inside just a tiny piece of metal. Think about it, one dime that could literally change your life overnight. The market demand is fiery hot, and experts predict these values will only go higher as more collectors compete for fewer and fewer surviving examples. This coin is not just money, it's history, it's rarity, it's power, it's a hidden fortune disguised as everyday change. For collectors, here's my advice. Never underestimate what looks ordinary. Check every dime, examine the condition, pay attention to toning, and most importantly, stay educated. Coins like the 1966 no-mint Roosevelt dime are proof that treasures still circulate out there. They might be sitting in old jars, forgotten in attics, or hidden in bank rolls, waiting for the lucky eye to discover them. And to conclude this treasure story, let me tell you this. The 1966 Roosevelt dime we revealed today is not just a coin. It is a testament to how history, scarcity, and collector passion combine to turn a humble dime into a piece of treasure worth more than a fortune. This is why we call it the secrets of US coins. Stay tuned, because this is just the first of 7 ultra-rare Roosevelt dimes I'll be revealing today. Each one carries its own unique mystery, story, and staggering market value. If you think coin number 1 was mind-blowing, wait until you see the next 6. Coin number 2. Now let's move forward to a coin that at first may shock you, not because of its age, but because of how unexpectedly valuable it has become in today's collector market. While many assume that only old, worn coins from decades or centuries ago can be worth fortunes, the truth is far more exciting. Even coins struck in our modern times, coins you might have seen in circulation only a few years ago, can carry values so massive that they feel like buried treasure rediscovered. This brings us to coin number 2, the 2016 Roosevelt dime with the Denver D mint mark, carrying a natural brown shade across its surface and preserved in fine condition with a stunning, beautiful look that immediately captures the eye of every collector. Let's dive into the history behind it. The Roosevelt dime series, introduced in 1946, has been continuously struck to this day, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in US history. By 2016, the coin was celebrating 70 years of continuous production, a powerful testament to its importance in American coinage. These modern dimes are struck in copper-nickel-clad composition, with outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. The obverse still carries John R. Sinnock's famous portrait of Franklin Roosevelt, while the reverse proudly displays the Torch of Liberty flanked by olive and oak branches, peace and strength forever standing side by side. Now here's what makes this particular dime so unique. In 2016, millions of Roosevelt dimes were struck at the Denver Mint, each bearing the D mint mark. But among those millions, only a tiny handful have developed a natural brown shade that gives the coin a distinct, beautiful patina. This toning effect occurs when the metal reacts with the environment over time, producing a unique and almost artistic appearance. No two toned coins are ever exactly alike, meaning your 2016 Roosevelt dime with its brown shade is literally a one-of-a-kind piece. Collectors place enormous value on coins with natural, eye-appealing toning. Unlike artificial coloring or damage, true natural shades are signs of age, originality, and individuality. It transforms the coin from a standard strike into a miniature masterpiece of nature and time. And in the world of numismatics, beauty plus rarity equals explosive demand. But let's talk about rarity in numbers. Out of the millions struck, most 2016 dimes remain ordinary pocket change, used in daily transactions and forgotten in bank rolls. only an exceptionally small fraction carry that rare toning, and fewer still have been preserved in fine condition, without scratches, cleaning, or damage. This scarcity is what creates a frenzy at auctions, where passionate collectors compete for these rare examples, pushing prices higher and higher. And here comes the treasure reveal you've been waiting for. The current market value of this 2016 Roosevelt dime with D mint mark, brown shade, fine condition stands at an astonishing $30,000. Yes, $30,000 for a modern dime that could have easily passed through your hands without a second thought. This isn't speculation. This is today's reality in the collector's market. The price you hear is absolutely current, faithful, and straight from the heart of the auction world. Think about that for a moment. A coin, less than a decade old, still gleaming with its natural beauty, already valued at a level that most people could only dream of. This is what I call a hidden treasure in plain sight. A dime like this is not just currency, it's an instant fortune, a golden ticket hiding in your change jar. And let me tell you, this market is on fire. For collectors watching this right now, here's my most important tip. Never dismiss modern coins. Many people focus only on ancient or early 20th century pieces, but as this 2016 dime proves, modern rarities can deliver life-changing surprises. Always check for unique toning, mint marks, and condition. The Denver Mint produced millions, but yours might be the treasure hidden among them. And to wrap this up, remember this: the 2016 Roosevelt dime with the D mint mark and its rare brown shade is not just a coin, it's proof that history is still being written. Every single day, modern coins are quietly turning into tomorrow's treasures, and only the sharpest eyes will find them before they explode in value. That's why Secrets of US Coins is here to keep you updated with faithful, truthful, and fresh news from the coin world every single day. Stick with us, because what you learn here might just put a hidden treasure into your pocket. And remember, this was only coin number 2. If you thought a modern 2016 dime valued at $30,000 was mind-blowing, wait until you see the rest of the rare Roosevelt dimes we're about to reveal. The journey has just begun. Coin number 3. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we move deeper into the treasure hunt, and this time, the story takes an even wilder turn. Imagine this. You walk into a store, you pay with a few coins, and you get a dime back in change. You toss it into your pocket without a second glance. Welcome to coin number 3, the 2018 Roosevelt dime with the Philadelphia P mint mark, uniquely toned with brown and black spots that give it a natural, strikingly beautiful look. It has been through circulation, passed from hand to hand, and yet today, it is one of the most desirable treasures in the collector's world. Let's begin with its history. The Roosevelt dime has been an American icon since 1946, struck to honor Franklin D. Roosevelt, the president who led the nation through the Great Depression and World War II. Its design, created by John R. Sinnock, has remained largely unchanged for more than 70 years, making it one of the most enduring coin designs in modern U.S. history. By 2018, the coin had already lived through multiple eras, but the Philadelphia Mint's contribution in that year became legendary for one reason: rarity within the ordinary. These dimes, like all modern strikes, were composed of a copper-nickel clad, 75% copper, and 25% nickel, layered over a pure copper core. In total, millions of Roosevelt dimes poured out of the Philadelphia Mint in 2018, but among those millions, very few develop the remarkable brown and black spotted toning we see on this coin. These spots are not signs of damage. They are nature's own artwork. The chemistry of the metal reacting with time and environment produces colors and patterns that can never be duplicated. Collectors love uniqueness. When a coin carries natural beauty like this, it is elevated beyond just a dime. It becomes a piece of art, a piece of history, and above all, a piece of treasure. Now, let's talk rarity. While ordinary 2018 dimes still pass through cash registers every single day, this special toned example has survived in circulated condition with its rare natural beauty intact. Circulation usually destroys value, but in this case, it adds character. The coin tells a story. It has traveled, it has lived, and yet it has emerged with a one-of-a-kind look that no other coin possesses. Out of the millions struck, the number of circulated examples with such rare toning is unbelievably small. That's why auction houses place such enormous value on them. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. The current market value of this 2018 Roosevelt dime with the P mint mark showing its rare brown and black spots in circulated condition stands today at an extraordinary $25,500. Yes, $25,500 for a dime you could easily mistake for pocket change. The price I'm giving you is current, truthful, and faithful to the latest market. This is not imagination. This is the real treasure value of this coin right now. Think about it. A dime less than 10 years old, still in circulation, already commanding the kind of price that feels like you just unlocked a treasure chest in your pocket. This is why I tell my audience again and again, do not underestimate modern coins. Treasures are hiding right under our noses. And let me tell you something powerful. The market demand for toned, uniquely spotted coins like this is growing every single day. As collectors fight to add these to their holdings, prices are climbing. If this dime is already worth $25,500 today, just imagine what it could be tomorrow, next year, or 10 years from now. This is not just a coin, it's an investment, a heritage piece, a fortune in waiting. For collectors, my tip is this: always check every coin, no matter how new it seems. Pay attention to color, shading, and spots. Many people ignore these small details, but those small details are what make the difference between 10 cents and tens of thousands of dollars. Check your change, check your rolls, and check your jars. The next treasure could be sitting there, waiting for you. To conclude this chapter of our treasure hunt, the 2018 Roosevelt dime with P mint mark, brown, and black spots in circulated condition is living proof that the line between ordinary and extraordinary is paper thin in the coin world. What most see as everyday change, the sharp-eyed collector sees as a life-changing treasure. And here's the best part. This is only coin number 3. We still have 4 more Roosevelt dimes to reveal, each one more astonishing than the last. Stay with me, because the secrets of US coins are just getting started. Coin number 4. And now, treasure hunters, we come to a Roosevelt dime that many people would never suspect could carry the weight of a fortune. It isn't from the distant past. It isn't one of those ancient silver strikes you read about in history books. No, this dime comes from the year 2000, a time most of us remember vividly, the dawn of a new millennium. Yet today, this small coin, easily overlooked in pocket change, has transformed into one of the most desirable treasures in the entire Roosevelt dime series. This is coin number 4, the 2000 Roosevelt dime with the Denver D mint mark, featuring unique brown dots across its surface and preserved in circulated condition, a coin that has shocked the collector market with its rarity and value. The Roosevelt dime was already more than half a century old by the year 2000, having first appeared in 1946 to honor Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Its design by John R. Sinnock remained unchanged through the decades, symbolizing stability, legacy, and respect for the president who led America through some of its darkest times. The 2000 issue, like others of its era, was struck in copper-nickel-clad composition, an outer shell of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. Millions of these coins rolled out of the Denver Mint, carrying the small D mint mark just to the right of Roosevelt's neck. But among those millions, very few emerged with the strange, beautiful imperfection that sets this coin apart, the brown dots of natural toning. These spots are not flaws. They are the fingerprints of time itself. The interaction of metal with its environment creates unique patterns and shades, turning an ordinary dime into a one-of-a-kind piece of art. Every dot, every shade, tells its own story of survival. Now let's talk about rarity and survival. Most 2000 dimes were used, abused, spent, and forgotten in circulation. They lived rough lives in cash registers and coin jars, and the vast majority have no collectible value at all. But a dime like this one, still carrying its Denver Mint mark, still displaying its natural brown dotted toning, and yet surviving intact through circulation, is a treasure on its own. Very few exist, and when they appear in the auction world, they are treated with the respect of gold. And now comes the part that will leave you speechless. The current market value of this 2000 Roosevelt dime with D mint mark, brown dots, circulated condition is an astonishing $45,500. Yes, $45,500 for a coin struck in the year 2000. Let that sink in. Something you might mistake for pocket change is in truth a six-figure treasure waiting for the right collector. And I assure you, this price is not fiction. It is the faithful, current truth of today's red-hot market. Think about it. A dime you could find in your change jar, a dime less than 3 decades old, is now commanding nearly $50,000. That's not just a coin, that's a locked treasure chest in your hand. The demand for rare-toned Roosevelt dimes is increasing day by day, and collectors are racing to grab these unique survivors before prices climb even higher. The value is alive, the value is moving, and the value is growing stronger every single day. For collectors, my advice is clear. Always check your modern coins. Don't just focus on centuries-old rarities. The Roosevelt dime series has treasures hiding in plain sight: toned coins, error coins, and condition rarities. The Denver's Mint issues of the early 2000s are particularly worth checking, as this coin proves. Pay attention to color, shading, and patterns. The brown dotted look is not a defect. It is the very reason this coin became a high-value prize. To conclude, the 2000 Roosevelt dime with the D mint mark, brown dots, in circulated condition, stands as proof that even modern coins can carry monumental value. It is history, beauty, and treasure fused into one small piece of metal. A coin like this isn't just money, it's a fortune disguised as pocket change. And remember, we're only halfway through this incredible journey. If you thought a year 2000 dime worth $45,500 was shocking, wait until you see the final 3 Roosevelt dimes still to come. Each one will push the limits of belief and show you why Secrets of US Coins is the most faithful and exciting place to uncover the hidden treasures of American coinage. Coin number 5. Ladies and gentlemen, The deeper we go into this treasure hunt, the more incredible the discoveries become. We've already seen dimes from the 1960s, the 2000s, and even the 2010s fetching astronomical values. But now, we come to a Roosevelt dime that shocked the entire numismatic world when it first surfaced in auctions. Why? Because it was hiding in plain sight, a coin minted just a few short years ago, circulating in the pockets of everyday Americans, quietly holding the power of a small fortune. Welcome to coin number 5, the 2017 Roosevelt dime with the Philadelphia P mint mark, carrying a beautiful brown shade found in circulated condition, and yet it has risen to become one of the hottest treasures in today's collector market. The year 2017 was historic for the Roosevelt dime series. For the first time since 1946, the Philadelphia Mint proudly placed its P mint mark on the dime to commemorate the U.S. Mint's 225th anniversary. Before that year, Philadelphia dimes never bore a mint mark at all. This was a groundbreaking moment in American coinage, making every 2017 P dime instantly special in the history books. Collectors knew from day one that this was a milestone coin, but few could have predicted just how valuable certain rare examples would become. Like other modern Roosevelt dimes, the 2017 issue was struck in copper-nickel clad, with outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel over a pure copper core. Tens of millions were minted. But here's where the story turns extraordinary. Out of all those millions, a precious few developed the rare, natural brown shade that gives this coin its unique appearance. This toning, caused by time and environmental interaction, is nature's paintbrush at work. It turns an ordinary dime into a one-of-a-kind piece of art, something no minting machine could ever replicate. Now let's talk about condition. This particular coin has been circulated, it has traveled, passed through hands, exchanged in stores, and yet it has survived with its rare toning intact. Circulation normally lowers value, but in this case, it enhances the story. The fact that a coin with such importance and beauty made it into the stream of commerce, only to be rescued later, adds to its rarity and appeal. Collectors crave coins with history, and circulated examples with this unique toning are among the most in-demand treasures of the series. And now comes the revelation, the part that takes this coin from interesting to life-changing. The current market value of this 2017 Roosevelt dime with P mint mark, brown shade, in circulated condition is a staggering $28,500. Yes, $28,500 for a dime you could easily mistake for everyday change. And let me tell you, this is not guesswork, not a dream. This is the faithful truth of today's auction market, and these prices are climbing higher with every passing year. Think about that for a moment. A dime less than a decade old, still circulating in America just yesterday, is now valued as a high-end treasure. That's why I say, again and again, never dismiss modern coins. They may look ordinary, but treasures are hidden among them, and only those who pay attention will reap the rewards. For collectors, my strongest tip here is this. If you see a 2017 Roosevelt dime with the P mint mark, don't overlook it. This was the very first year the Philadelphia Mint marked its dimes, making it historically important by default. Combine that with unique toning like the brown shade, and you have a coin that skyrockets in desirability. Check your pocket change, your coin rolls, your jars. The treasure is still out there waiting. To conclude this story, the 2017 Roosevelt dime with P mint mark, brown shade, circulated condition, is more than just a coin. It's history in motion. It's proof that treasures don't only live in the distant past. They can be struck in our lifetime, circulate right before our eyes, and transform into fortunes in just a few short years. And here's the most exciting part. We still have 2 more Roosevelt dimes to reveal. If you thought a 2017 dime worth $28,500 was astonishing, just wait. The final 2 coins in this lineup will shake you to your core. Stay with me, because Secrets of Us Coins is only getting hotter. Coin number 6. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Secrets of Used Coins, where treasures of American coinage are uncovered one masterpiece at a time. And let me tell you, today's journey into the world of Roosevelt dimes keeps getting more and more extraordinary. We've already uncovered coins that could change lives overnight. But now, prepare yourself for a discovery that proves how even a dime from just a decade ago can transform into a collector's dream and into a treasure of staggering value. Let's move into coin number 6, and believe me, this one will stir your emotions, raise your heartbeat, and make you look at every single coin in your pocket with new eyes. This is the 2014 Roosevelt dime with the Denver D mint mark, a coin that most Americans have seen, used, and spent without a second thought. But hidden within that sea of ordinary change lies something very different. Because this particular dime, instead of shining with the typical silvery brilliance, carries a beautiful, natural brown layer across its surface. A coin that nature itself has brushed with unique color, giving it a rich, antique look that no machine could replicate. Now let's step back into its history. The Roosevelt dime series began in 1946, created to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt shortly after his passing. Since then, billions have been minted, striking through decades of American history. The 2014 issue came from the Denver Mint, struck in copper-nickel-clad composition, an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded over a pure copper core. Tens of millions rolled off the presses, flooding into circulation across the country. To most people, they were just everyday change. But for collectors, history teaches us one thing. Out of the millions, only a few are chosen by time and circumstance to become legends. And this 2014 with D-Dime became one of those legends. Its brown-toned surface layer is not a mistake of the mint, but a rare gift of chemistry and environment. Over time, exposure to air, humidity, and natural conditions caused its surface to tone in shades of brown that resemble bronze or even old-world treasure. Collectors see this as a natural fingerprint of history. No two-toned coins are alike, and this is what makes such examples one-of-a-kind masterpieces. Now let's talk about rarity. The Denver Mint struck countless dimes in 2014, but finding one with this rare brown layer and preserved in fine condition is close to impossible. Circulation usually strips coins of character, dulls their shine, and erases their beauty. But here, we have a coin that not only survived circulation, but emerged with unique personality, commanding attention from serious collectors. These toned treasures are not common finds in pocket change or rolls. They are the kind of coins that surface rarely, and when they do, they cause bidding wars at auction houses. And now comes the part that makes this dime more than just a coin, but a fortune. The current auction market value of the 2014 Roosevelt dime with D mint mark, rare brown layer, in fine condition, is standing at a jaw-dropping $35,500. Yes, $35,500 for a single dime. This is not fiction, not fantasy. This is the faithful, trustful truth of the auction world today. This is a price that makes you rich overnight, a price equal to holding a piece of treasure in your very hands. And let me remind you, This value is climbing, growing day by day. What you see today at $35,500 could easily surpass that tomorrow. That is the living, breathing power of numismatic treasure. So what does this mean for collectors? It means opportunity. If you ever come across a 2014 Roosevelt dime with the Denver Mint mark, don't overlook it. Study its surface. Look closely for unusual toning, for those brown or layered hues that tell you nature has left its mark. Hold on to it, preserve it, because as history proves, treasures like this grow in demand, grow in value, and become legacy pieces passed down through generations. And here's my tip: never underestimate the modern coins. Many people dismiss post-2000 issues as too common, too modern to hold value. But that thinking is where treasure hides. Coins like this 2014 D prove that the modern era can produce miracles. Don't just chase the oldest coins. Chase the rarest, the most unique, the ones that stand apart in condition, look, and history. To conclude the story of this sixth treasure, the 2014 Roosevelt dime with D mint mark, rare brown layer, in fine condition, is nothing less than a numismatic jewel. A coin that most people would overlook in change, but for the collector who knows its worth, it's a big money treasure, a life-changing find, a dazzling reminder that true value often hides in plain sight. This, my friends, is why Secrets of US Coins exists. Because every day, new treasures are being discovered, values are rising, and fortunes are being uncovered. And I promise you, this channel remains faithful, trustful, and your best source for the newest updates every single day on coins that can change your future. And let me say this, we are not done yet. We still have one more Roosevelt dime to uncover in this lineup, and if you thought this $35,500 treasure was powerful, wait until you see the final reveal. That last coin will take everything you believe about value and rarity and multiply it. Stay tuned, because the biggest shock may be yet to come. Coin number 7. Friends, treasure hunters, and coin lovers, here we are at the moment you've been waiting for. We've journeyed through 6 extraordinary Roosevelt dimes, each carrying its own story, each carrying its own secret of value. But now, we stand face to face with coin number 7, the final revelation in this lineup. And believe me when I say this, if you thought the earlier coins were life-changing, you are about to see something that feels like pulling pure treasure out of history itself. This last coin is the 1998 Roosevelt dime with the Denver D mint mark. At first glance, it appears to be just another coin from the tail end of the 20th century, a time most of us still remember, a time not so far in the past. But what makes this dime legendary? What transforms it from a piece of small change into an object of breathtaking value is not just its history, not just its composition, but the unique, eye-catching green spotting across its surface. Now let's explore the background. By 1998, the Roosevelt dime had already been in circulation for over 50 years, faithfully carrying the memory of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Street in copper-nickel clad, the dimes of this era were made for function, not beauty. They were designed to last, to be used, to survive millions of transactions. The Denver Mint struck them in the tens of millions, and to most people, they were simply forgettable pieces of pocket change. But within that enormous sea of ordinary coins, this one dime was touched by time in a way that no machine could replicate. Its surface, after years of circulation and exposure to natural conditions, developed distinct green spots, a feature that instantly sets it apart. This isn't damage. This isn't a flaw. To a trained collector, this is character. It is a fingerprint of history, a unique pattern that no second coin can ever match. It is like having a painting where the brush strokes were made by nature herself. Collectors crave rarity, but they crave uniqueness even more. And this is where the 1998 with D. Roosevelt dime rises above the rest. Because not only does it carry the D mint mark, linking it forever to the Denver Mint, but it also carries this green spotted surface that transforms it into a true one-of-one treasure. That means when it goes to market, collectors know they are not just bidding on a coin, but on something that can never be duplicated. Now let's talk about the condition. This dime is circulated, meaning it's lived a full life in the hands of countless people. But far from reducing its appeal, this condition adds weight to its story. It means the coin survived the test of time, passing through generations, carrying value unnoticed until now. Its circulated condition, combined with its unusual green spotting, makes it highly desirable for those collectors who value both survival and uniqueness. And now, the moment of truth, the part that makes this dime legendary in the auction world. The 1998 Roosevelt dime with the D mint mark, green spots, in circulated condition is today commanding a current market value of $48,500. Yes, you heard that right, $48,500 for a single dime. This is no exaggeration. This is no fiction. This is today's market, faithful and real. This is the kind of coin that can make you rich overnight, the kind of coin that is nothing short of a treasure in your pocket. And let me tell you something even more exciting. This value is not standing still. It is climbing. With every year, with every auction, demand for uniquely toned coins like this grows. $48,500 today could very well become $55,000 tomorrow, and higher still as collectors battle for ownership of pieces like this. If you hold such a coin, you are holding not just money, you are holding a treasure chest that grows more valuable with time. So, what's the tip for collectors? Here it is. Never overlook coins from the 1990s. Many people focus only on the oldest dimes, forgetting that more modern issues can also hide astonishing treasures. Look closely at coins from this era. Study them for unusual toning, spots, or natural patterns that mark them as different. And remember, condition matters, but uniqueness matters even more. A coin like this proves that even circulated pieces, when blessed with rarity, can command jaw-dropping prices. And in conclusion, let us reflect. The 1998 Roosevelt dime with D mint mark, green spots, in circulated condition is more than a coin. It is a treasure. It is proof that the everyday change in your hand might secretly hold the power to change your life. It is a piece of history, a work of art, and a growing fortune all at once. That, my friends, brings us to the end of our journey through 7 Roosevelt dimes, each one a hidden masterpiece of American coinage. From 1966 all the way to this incredible 1998 piece, we have seen how history, rarity, and uniqueness turn pocket change into treasures worth tens of thousands. And let me say this once more. Secrets of US Coins is your faithful, trustful guide in this treasure hunt. Every day, new updates are here, new stories are told, and new treasures are revealed. If you've watched until the end, you now understand why I say, never underestimate your coins. They may be small in size, but their value, their story, their treasure is beyond imagination.